Jack Teller here.
And Jill here.
Good. It all worked.
Yay.
Hope you can hear us okay.
Yes.
Either in the chat or in the Q&A area.
That would be wonderful. How are you, Jack?
I'm excellent.
Good. That was a fun call earlier.
I know. More importantly, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I'm waiting to hear if everyone, I'm assuming everyone can hear us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That was fun today. I'm trying.
Thank you, Kyria.
Thank you, Kyria. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, I'm doing much better. Thank you to you, Jack, and thank you to everyone. I'm in good hands here.
Good.
So all good. Cool. I like your video you have running here for us.
Is it clear? You can see it?
Your solar stuff. Little hint of what you're working on.
Okay, I'm going to try to talk louder here. Let me know if it's any better.
Okay.
People are having issues hearing me.
Okay. Oops.
Can you hear me okay, Jill?
I got you better now. It was softer too. So
Okay.
thank you, Jean. Jean's like, Jack's good. Jill's yelling.
You're really soft now, Jill.
Am I? Okay, I tried to fix it. All right. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, welcome everyone. And the only thing is, did you want us to see the stuff that's on the screen? Since we're in different locations, I'm seeing what everybody else is seeing. Cool. I know you have some stuff there for us. Do you want to cover that a little bit into the call when we have more people?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right now we can answer some questions.
I love Jean's comment, and I wonder if Jean knows what you shared with me today, which is so interesting too.
Yeah.
So Jean wrote here, congratulations on Lands of America for shooting themselves in the foot. I love it. The new horrible dashboard. I haven't seen it. I have to check it out. The industry's equivalent of New Coke. Oh, this is great. LandPid is the easiest / best for uploading property and photos. Much more user-friendly. Thank you, Jean. And by the way, Jean, I have to say, I really, really appreciate your patience. I know you and several other people were waiting for my team / me to get stuff approved for LandPin. I think we're all caught up now. So thank you very much. And I like the comments. So
what were the comments, Joe? What in general? You and I haven't talked about this at all. Is it working okay?
No, just what he's talking about that ours is easier.
Oh yeah.
We are much for. You know what I come back to with this? This is one of the reasons why I think, Jack, you and I are so successful, and the products that we release are good quality stuff because we understand the business. I'm not from the outside looking in going, hey, look at all these land people. I think I'll create something for them, not really understanding the business. But
that's right.
You and I, when by the time everyone here says, hey, we could sure use help with, answering our phones, engineering, posting properties, we've already been there, done that too. So it's like, oh yeah, you know what? You're right. Now there's enough of us. Let's make this better.
So I just had a 2-hour meeting this morning with LetterStream, and they said unequivocally that the members that they deal with our people are by leaps and bounds more polite, more intelligent, and more informed about everything than their other customers.
I totally agree, and I've heard that from other people in other areas.
So here's what's going to happen with offers to owners. This is the reason I had the meeting. Jill and I hired a full-time mail merge person who offers to owners will have an 800 number on it, and you will call that person, and they will do the mail merge with you or for you or however you'd like it, and get it through LetterStream through their API, and you'll be able to log into a special place on LetterStream's website to see when it's going out and the whole thing. We've decided, Jill and I, instead of making it all automatic, we're going to hire a real person so you can have a real interactive experience and deal with that person for all, for sending letters out, not only for land, but houses and cars and whatever you choose. So we're kicking it old school.
We're going to have a live body there. Yep. So, yep. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about it.
Me too. All right. Tony asks, how do you answer? Oh, this is a good one. How do you answer the question from a seller when the deed says for good and valuable consideration of $10 and then not the sales price? It is funny. And I have had people say, I didn't pay $10, you know, it's kind of funny. And when it's confusing, but you do have to kind of explain, yeah, I know that this is a formality. This is just the way it's handled, you know. I try not to go into too much detail because there's really none, you know what I mean? Other than that's just the way it's always been done, you know, is the reality. And then when I show them a lot of, states, you have supporting documents like the affidavit of property value or the P Corps in California, or Colorado has one. When they see the sales price on there too, then it's cool. And if they ever really want anything more, Tony, if they go, well, I don't like that. Well, fine, I'll send you a purchase agreement or something else if they want to have something to hand to their accountant in the spring, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's how I handle it.
I talk about that in the program, the good and valuable consideration. Mm-hmm. You have to have a valid transaction. One person has to give something, and one person has to. Everybody both have. It's called, and lawyers know this. It's called consideration. Mm-hmm. So, it has to be in there to be a valid agreement. And I've done that in the very distant past. I filled out the actual purchase price in there, made the mistake like everybody did. That doesn't work.
Exactly. You do that once. There's a lot of things like that you do once, and then you go up, and then you find out you're wrong, and it's all good. Right. So that's cool. All right. We Buy Land Company asks, hi there. I sent out, hold on a second.
First large mailer of 500 offer letters.
Yay. And now I'm just waiting to hear back. What should be my top priorities in the meantime while I wait?
Doing another mailer.
Yeah, making sure everything's good to go. Exactly. Yeah.
I know it's hard to wait. That first time you're like, oh my gosh, it didn't work. No one's doing it. And then like 2 weeks later, you just get slammed, or a week later.
Hey, Jack, I apologize. I got to answer this call. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. You guys got this. Okay.
Yeah. Rod says, I have 3 questions. Pick 2 if you want. Should I use county assessed value to narrow my list? And then once that's done, use market value based on research to make offers. Is this right? Number 2, I'm going to answer this. I'll answer them in order. So should I use county assessed value to narrow my list? And then once that's done, use market value based on my research to make offers. So no, you're half right. Yes, you should use county assessed value to narrow your list. Use the bottom 20 to 40%-ish. And then you should take, if the planets are aligned and it's perfect, you should take an index map and try to gauge values based on, the APN scheme of the county. And I'll explain it a little bit more if everybody needs me to later. If you picture a map on the wall, there's groups of, let's say, 101 and groups of 104 and groups of, geographically, it's all cut up kind of like a puzzle with real large pieces, maybe 25 pieces in it. Each puzzle has a different price per acre based on its, population density and some other stuff. So that's how we do it. On your first mailer, you don't need to complicate it. Just get it in the mail and, just what I call Luke Smith it, just price per acre, the whole state, send everybody a letter, and then let everybody work it out themselves. That's personally what I would do if you're brand new. If you're not, index mapping and pricing is the way to go. Number 2 question, should I subtract delinquent taxes owed for my offers? The tax year delinquent and all that? No. You can deal with that. It's a great question. No one's ever asked that. You can deal with the tax situation when they call back and they're interested in selling, or they write the letter back. You can then deduct it from the price that you offered. I'm here. Can I weigh in one more thing on that? I have a question on comment number 2. I don't even usually know that. I want to make sure you're not spending too much time on the front end. That's something new, Jill. I just noticed it in RealQuest data that they have like a delinquent tax amount.
So we have a column already that pops right in?
Yeah, I haven't researched enough to intelligently talk about it, but I have noticed that they are including back tax information now.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure don't spend a bunch of time doing research before you send out your mailer on these properties, because you want to see who's interested, then go back and spend all your time. Okay, sorry.
And number 3, these are good questions, Rod. Consider this one market research. Besides the possible utility of the land, why would anybody buy it? Nobody needs land. I don't understand the question. That has to do with these solar panels here. Quite honestly.
Nobody needs it. Sure they do. One market research.
I think what he's getting at is this, and I said this during the last downturn. This is good. This is a good conversation briefly to have. This is not a need-driven business that we're in. This isn't healthcare. We don't need to have land. So I think it's better.
That's true. That's very true. People want land.
Yeah.
They want this. They want to live there. They want to retire there. They want to own something. They want to, who knows what it is.
None of us need a new car, but a lot of us are going to go buy one anyway.
It's true.
It's a good business to be in.
That's a very good point. I like that.
Hope I'm one person. Like, I need a new car.
Oh boy, here we go. All right. Let's see. Jay Jasniak asked, hey guys, not too often I get on the calls. I've been grinding away as always. Oh, cool. I just want to thank you guys so much. I'm now up to $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
This is awesome. 1,000 rolls in off 6 months, but 3,000 for 24 months. And I'm 5 months in. I love it. I don't know if it's supposed to be this easy. Oh my gosh. But I can't wait to see what the future holds as I'm getting overwhelmed with home run deals at the moment. Fantastic. You are doing everything right. And someone asked me this just today. And I said, you know what? That's it. They were just thinking of joining our program and they may be on the call right now. And I said, it's really just A to B to C. Jack and I really spent a lot of time, 6 months to be exact, more than 6 months, to really carefully plot out all the steps. And as long as you kind of follow along and do the whole thing, by golly, it works.
It does.
So that's so good. Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that. Jill and I never get tired of hearing that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chuck. You fixed that. Okay. Not including cash deals. Isn't that great? Now those are gravy.
Well, he's using half of his profit per month for new acquisitions.
I love it.
That's exactly how it's supposed to work.
Oh my gosh, you're doing everything right. All right. Luke Smith asks, how much can I have the letters to owners do? Like area?
Yes.
Neighborhood?
Yes.
UPN area?
Yep.
Search out the top 20% of records?
Yep.
And meet a criteria or what?
Yes. Luke, you're going to be an early adapter. So you're going to get an email here soon before we actually launch the website to work with this person. And I want you to just test the hell out of it.
Well, that'd be good. Luke could kind of help train her.
Yeah. So my whole goal, this was a huge debate internally in our company. Jill doesn't know about it because she was kind of in recovery. But I've been battling with a certain IT staff about automating everything. It's cool to have automation, and I get it, but you need a lot of times you need help. This is business we're in is complicated when you're in the beginning. We're creating a situation where we want them to hold your hand. We want you to dump as much as you can on them. And then I want you to never leave. I want you to never consider even going anywhere else to do a mail merge. That's my whole goal. So write it as hard as you can, Luke, and let me know how it goes, please.
Love it.
Like our number 3 kid says, beat it like you owe it, like it owes you money.
Jeez. Oh no. That's so funny. That's what you love about this call. It's not the podcast. You can be a little I don't know if honest is the word, but yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, moving on. Tony says, do you use an email service like Constant Contact? Oh yeah, or Aweber to send emails to your contact list? If so, what service do you recommend? Good question, Tony. I've been using Aweber now for how many years? I don't know. And and if I ever wanted to jump ship and go with another one, it's easy to download all the data and populated into another one, but I'm happy with Aweber. And I got to tell you, anytime I've had issues, like in the beginning, I was learning things, and you learn to send test emails, and don't make it look like spam and all that good stuff. Gosh, anytime I need to call them, they're there. And I've had a great, just awesome customer service, ties what you're saying, Jack. And I couldn't be happier. Do you have anything to add?
When Microsoft 365 releases a viable alternative, then we'll switch. But for now, there's nothing better than Aweber.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, did you know that you can send out 10,000 emails a day with Outlook for no extra charge, and they don't even really ask any questions at all? And if you request more, they'll do it.
I did not know that.
I did.
I hear ya. Okay. JT says or asks, are there any other places or ways to find comps for an area when websites like LandWatch and LandPin don't come up with many results?
The MLS, and then the assessor. So when you're in a new county, you should be talking to the assessor and the recorder and all the time with these questions like this. The RealQuest, there's a column in RealQuest, and depending on how urban or rural or how the assessor reports, that's a great place for sales comps. I had one of our members, well, a lot of our members are brilliant, but this kid in particular is brilliant, and he set up a whole system between in Excel to look at completed sales comparison values using RealQuest data only. So I would encourage you to look at because you bought the data anyway, might as well use it for that too.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Albert asks, if a husband and wife own the land but the wife died, can the husband convey the land? If so, how? This is one of those that goes back to how the deed was drawn is the first step. If it's joint tenants with rights of survivorship, done deal, good to go. The answer is yes. If it's another way, now it gets more involved, and it depends on the way, because if it's what's the term I'm thinking of? Tenants in common, because now if they have kids, now the heirs technically are involved, and so that's where it gets tricky.
Right.
So, and that's why we always tell everybody what we do in our office is any couple, any more than one person, we do joint tenants with rights of survivorship and save everybody the hassle. So, and then it's automatic. Whoever passes on, it could be two brothers, and one passes on, then the other one can automatically, they just assume the whole thing. So it's nice. Cool.
Nice work.
Thank you. Luke, I'm obviously feeling much better.
Yeah.
Luke, oh, hey, thank you, Luke, by the way. Oh, I have to pause here and tell you that a little while after the call last Thursday, I went back and, I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday, but I went back and listened to the call, and the whole rooster thing, I was rolling. It was the funniest thing on the planet, and it was so I thought that was great. And thank you, Luke. I really appreciate you jumping in and gosh, spending a lot of time. It was like an hour and 20 minutes or something, and so I want to say thank you for filling in for me. That was really cool.
I wanted to end the call, and you didn't even end it.
No, Luke's like, well, you could leave. I'll got this.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
I was doing other stuff, and I walked back by the computer. I'm like, this is still going on, so I had to jump on.
It was so good. I love it. So Luke asks, do you ever talk to the county surveyor for maps? I was talking to a couple different surveyors, and they keep referencing the county surveyor. So I asked, and they said they have the best maps. Recorded ones and unrecorded ones, and notes from the surveys. Yeah. Makes sense. Have not had the time yet, but wanted to know the county surveyors of the counties I work. You ever call them or have any experience there? Since the beginning, I have had an on-staff engineer. So I'm going to be incredibly transparent and truthful here. I have not, but I know that my guys have. And now this is all before Google Earth. Now that we have Google Earth, it's just like, man, it's just so easy. And now this is before Google Earth and GIS. It was that long ago. Now everything just is so easy to do. So I'm assuming that's because you want to subdivide some property or split it. That'd be a good place to start. Cool.
And now all the property that Jill and I are subdividing right now, we're doing it with other members. So they're doing all the work. We're providing the money. So I'm learning less and less every day.
Cool. All right. So Tony.
That was a joke.
Oh, sorry. I was like, sorry to read. Oh, you're right. Isn't that funny? I know. Parcel Fact. Fantastic. Now I'm never going to remember how to go back in. Shucks. Earth Point. Remember that? And have to do the Texas properties.
Parcel Fact replaces earthpoint.us and Parlay. And in a lot of ways, RealQuest. I'll show you in a few minutes. It's truly magnificent.
Cool. Tony said, if I receive a signed purchase agreement in the mail, if received a signed purchase agreement in the mail, awesome. Is it necessary to contact the seller, just find a notary? Oh, this is good. And send the deed with a certified check and let the notary contact them? All I have to say is that's what Luke does sometimes.
We can blame anything on Luke.
I know. It's the greatest thing. Now, here's what's so funny. So here's what I would do, Tony. I would call him back and say, hi, thank you very much. After I do my due diligence to make sure, I definitely want to buy it and everything's cool. They're happy with it. I'm just like, my call would be a matter of fact phone call and say, hi, I'm just calling to see what day is good for you. And I'll get the notary together and make sure you and your wife are going to be there together and, whatever. And Tuesday's good. Great. Okay. Thanks. I'll watch for an email. And that would be it kind of thing for me. But it sounds like what Luke does is just sometimes gets the cashier's check, sends it to the notary, and lets the notary call him and put that all together. So none of it's crazy.
Right.
It's all, you know what? It all comes down to how cool the notaries are too. Some notaries get it. Some notaries, I'm like, oh man, like they get involved in the transaction. I've learned my verbiage. I had a real standard verbiage where I'd call the notary and say, look, I have a 1-page deed. I need a signature from the husband and the wife. They're going to be there together, make it really simple. And then can you do that for me? There'll be an envelope to hand them at that time. Are you good with that? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Because some people would go, well, what is it? Well, why are you doing that? I'm like, yeah, we're not. Then that would not be the notary I'd choose.
Right.
So, did you want to add anything to that?
I wasn't listening at all.
Oh, good.
I was playing Parcel Fact.
Oh, you are playing Parcel Fact. Okay, good. Okay, here's Kathleen. Oh, this is good for you, Jack. Kathleen, any tips for structuring a release? Oh, I like where this is going. I have a seller who has literally hundreds of parcels, some large, some small. She responded to my mailer, indicated that she's selling off everything due to health issues.
Yeah.
And wants to sell in bulk and make a deal. Oh, wow. That's so great.
That's great.
I'd like to and need to stretch this out based on my acquisition funds. I haven't encountered an opportunity like this. I'm not sure how to structure it.
Yeah. This is what you do. You put all of this on the title agent. And so when you call a title agent that's in the area, and for this, I would use like First American, even though they're more expensive, and ask for the manager, ask for the branch manager, and ask them if they've ever done a release, and they will do the whole thing from start to finish. Because you want to get one. I've seen people make this mistake. If it's 50 or 100 properties, you'd only need to do one title policy if there's one seller and get charged once. You shouldn't get charged for lots of title policies just because you're releasing it every month. So reach out to us individually if you have problems with, somebody, an older person with some experience in a First American title office is going to, like the back of their hand, they'll know how to do these deals.
Perfect.
And congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Luke
we're
said,
doing one right now too.
Yeah. Luke said, any idea what property sells the best? Take a square and make it wet? Luke's taking a 40-acre property. He's going to try to break it down. He did all the math, and he wants to know if he can sell 1/8 of an acre. Oh. God.
Yeah. I'm going to be, I'll be real straight with you. 5-acre properties are the best from sales standpoint. All the numbers always work. There's not a person on the planet that doesn't sit down and stop what they're doing when they see a 5-acre property for $1,500. And if you've ever walked a 5-acre property, it's astonishing how large it is. Mm-hmm. So 5's my favorite. That being said, we're doing a subdivision project right now down to 1-acre properties because I did the math and I couldn't pass it up.
Cool. Jared asks, when selling land on terms, is it necessary for the buyer to notarize the land contract and promissory note, or can we just have the buyer sign the docs online via DocuSign?
That's up to you. And check for the state regs. I personally would not do that. Would not do a deal with just DocuSign. Park McCluskey does it all the time. I want to see a notarized signature because I want to know they're serious.
Cool.
What do you think, Jill, about that? You're more qualified than I am for that.
I just think it's personal preference too. So, you know what? At the very, very bitter end of the day, it's kind of more for my buyer than it is for me, because I want them to feel they have some skin in the game. Is why I'm sending them this big document, because we all know that if they default or something goes crazy, I'm going to work with them.
Yeah.
You know? If they take off and run, and I'm not going to chase them. So that's it. I'm not gonna be a hard, so.
I'm going to answer a question in the chat, Joe, real quick. It's a follow-up question. Rod asks, what's a release, in reference to Kathleen's question. A release is this, and it's a good question again, Rod. When a seller has, let's say, 100 properties, or let's say they have 12 properties, and Kathleen or anybody else or us, we don't want to lay out the cash for all 12 properties and then try to sell them. What we want to do is buy one a month, starting in January. So we only have to fund, there's the theory, you only have to fund the first property if you do it right, and if you're doubling your money. So you buy the property, let's say it's $1,000, you sell it for $2,000, and then now you have the next $1,000 to buy the next property, and so on and so on and so on. So you only really ever make 1/12 from a cash standpoint. You lay out 1/12 of what you would have, assuming you can sell it every month. It's brilliant, actually. Mm-hmm. I went and sought this out and did it in New Mexico, in Cibola County, New Mexico, in grants, and man, we killed it. We made $500,000 on a deal one time doing this. And we outlaid $20,000. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. This is good. Boomer said, and Luke's comments cracking me up. Okay. Boomer asked, at the time I did my first deal, I didn't fully understand what tenants in common meant. That's okay. Long story short, my buyer contacted me weeks later to let me know he only owns half of the land.
Yeah.
Aha. I'm refunding him as he didn't want to wait and try and sort it out. If I am unable to retain full ownership of the land, how hard will it be to sell this?
It will be impossible.
Yeah. Because you can't just go out and put a rope across or spray paint a stripe and say, this half's mine, I'm doing this.
We've all made this mistake. Luke just made it. All of us, no matter how experienced we are and how many deals we've done. Jill and I still own half-owned property. We own half of a property still.
It's hilarious.
That we just are not even it's just going to go back to the taxing authority.
Yeah. We get the notices in the mail and it shows us with another guy. We're like, oh, this is great. So, yeah. There you go. So Luke had some buyer show up at the house today, and he gave him some eggs from the chickens. Well, shoot, Luke, you're just down the road. I want some of these eggs now.
Is he in Irvine?
He's in San Diego. Aren't you, Luke? I think he's down in San Diego.
I thought he was in Orange County. Anyway, Jill and I are going to be in Irvine early next month, and we could use some eggs. Yeah,
it's funny. Well, you know what's funny? This is because, or we can have them come to us. So, RealQuest, I've been talking to RealQuest a lot over the last couple of days, and CoreLogic, and so just so you know, Jack, he's willing to come to us. So if we want, I thought, yeah. I'm like, he's like, you guys want to come here? What do you guys want to do? I said, we should have lunch. He's like, yeah. I said, do you want to get out of the office? He's like, heck yeah. So he'll come here if we want him to. So might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So cool. We're going to pick his brain on some stuff that he's got in the works. So it's going to be awesome.
CoreLogic is making some fantastic additions to all these products. I'm proud to be associated with them. And Tanita's okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Michael asks, I have a seller who was on the title as being married to Sally Smith, but listed as sole owner. Property was deeded from parents. Therefore, I only need a signature, correct? He's on the title. So wait.
Yeah.
Is it?
You only need a signature.
Okay. Is it?
He owns the property.
Right.
He owns the property. He's married to Sally, and he owns it. So he owns it as a married guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Have you ever seen that? You ever heard that thing, Jack, where this is kind of weird? Like this exact situation. Yeah, well, that's another one. See where this could be a problem? Yeah. So Sally Smith is causing the problem here.
I'm gonna do a poll right now. Should you get married or not?
Okay. Oh no! Don't do that, Jack. Knock that off. Wait. So you know what I'm talking about? You are not going to do a poll. Oh no!
All right, I won't.
So, because there's a lot of husband and wives on this call, by the way. Thank you very much.
Yeah, some of them might not like each other.
Oh, you're silly. Okay. But have you ever heard of that document, like this exact situation where in some states you have to even follow, like Sally Smith has to sign a follow-up document to be recorded saying that, yes, I know my husband has this property and I'm not involved.
That's crazy. Made up by overzealous title agents and stuff, I think. I don't think it's a law anywhere.
Okay.
It might be a condition to get a special kind of title insurance or something. I don't know.
Okay. So, by the way, I hear yes, get married 27 going on 28 years, and it was an awesome decision. Jake, that's awesome.
Where do you see this?
On the chat.
Oh, okay.
And Luke says 6 hens. You're cracking me up. It hurts to laugh, and it's so funny. That's good. Thank you, Luke. So Luke added that he sets the notary out on the buyers that he can't get a hold of. That's probably a good idea. I really want that property. I'm just going to see what happens. And if the notary can't track these people down, they'll just send it back to me, and I wasted $50.
That's a great idea.
So what? So that's not crazy. Albert's asked, I have some land to purchase in West Texas. Oh, where in the world do I find GPS coordinates? Having a hard time. This is
Parcel Fact.
This comes.
Please look at your screen. This is a good time to do this.
Okay.
Parcel Fact is a database of 148 million properties. Here's the coverage. The white stuff are the counties that are not participating. All you do
future growth.
You type your APN right in here. You type your county, state county, and it comes up. You click it, and you type in the state in here. That's by the APN, and it'll come up. If you want to have if it has an address and it's not for land, just for houses or whatever, then that's what you do. You type it in. Here's some examples. Here's a property in Newman County that we're buying in a large deal. And so this is actually Google Earth that I'm in now. And you can see up in here, here's the longitude and latitude. Remember how hard we all struggled for some properties without it that didn't have it. Here's the information about sales. Here's the person who owns it. Ownership information here. And the address and the APN, and a lot of them have the sales price, a ton of them. So and this is directly from the assessor. So if the assessor has a recorded sale price, you're asking about, somebody was asking about comps earlier. This is how you do it. So this replaces Parlay, and it replaces
what
if
we
you
used to
even know
have,
what Parlay is.
Google Earth Pro that went away a while ago.
All of it. It replaces all of it. And then you can actually download for your engineering. You can download these maps and use them right in your posting.
Yep.
We're connecting it to LandPin, so when it's done, you just have to do this, and there'll be a button here that says posted on LandPin. And all the data is already populated from successor data anyway, so it's pretty cool. It's a tool that feeds into LandPin.
Cool. Hey, Jack, can I show a quick little side thing?
Yeah.
Your screen is jumping around for us. It's like got a twitch. Can you minimize or maximize or something? I wonder if, does it doing anything funky on your end?
I'll turn it off. No, it's not. I'll turn it off and on.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, so everybody go do the 5 test polls. And do you want to add anything about when that's going to be?
It's available now. The price is, it's available now. You can go sign up. The price is, let me log out, $100 a month.
Oh, it's updated?
It's $100 a month. If it is, it isn't. But by the end of the day today, is it still jumpy, Jill?
Yes, it is.
Okay, hold on.
Now it's not.
That's because I'm not moving around.
Oh.
The red and the red and the gray will be removed, and it's just $100 a month for 10,000 parcels, unlimited parcels per month, and you can pull it as a gold member. When we release the gold, it'll be included in free.
Cool.
It truly just takes, and I asked the IT guys to put this down here. You can see how much it's going to save you, how much money this thing saves you in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you just don't have to, you can locate a property within seconds.
Yep.
You can use it, not that we encourage you to do this, but you can use it for driving for dollars to find out who owns property. You can type in the address of an office building that you're in and find out who owns it. And it's pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Love it. So cool. Yeah, Jason said, I love it for about 50% of the time in Terrell County, Texas, where I'm working now, but it doesn't the other half.
Yeah, so. Here's why. 98% of the problems that go on with Parcel Fact are because the APN that you're putting in has some type of error in it. It's very sensitive. It has to be perfect. The other 2% of the time is because the county screwed some stuff up. And that's really the truth. All this does is pull county data, but you have to put garbage in, garbage out. You have to input it right.
Exactly. I have a little comment on that I'm scrolling up and down. Michael says, Michael's any reason why you won't keep the $50 price? I don't know if we want to do, it's just so darn expensive.
Well,
I can't even tell you.
This does not make us money. Yeah. Trust me. $50 for 25 pulls. I'll keep it up there if everybody thinks they're going to use it. When you rather just pay $100 a month for unlimited pulls. So
why don't you do a poll? You know what, Jack? Totally serious.
I just think it just complicates everything.
Yeah. So, okay. But that's the thing.
Everybody should just pipe into the chat. If we're jumping the gun by pulling these and making it simple, I'll leave it up there. I don't care.
Yeah. If we want to try it like this, or we could make it $200 unlimited, $150 unlimited, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to have a pricing discussion. So.
Okay. All right. Luke says
Thank you, Jared. I agree.
Cool.
He said unlimited is better, and I agree.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Jill.
Do you mind? Let me jump back in on the questions?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Luke says he has a notary go to their house because the person doesn't answer the phone, or they don't give a phone number. Good tip. Got it. Yep.
What does he do? Luke, he just sends them documents even though they didn't they do it the check and just rams it down.
Knock on the door.
Freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's good. Well, they send back a side agreement, obviously. So it's like, all right, you're obviously in. So here,
does that work, Luke? Luke, can I turn your mic on? I want to hear this. Mike, Luke, are you there?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, I just got one today that I did that on. Just got it back in the mail. My mailer came back. It's like, oh, good. The guy actually signed it. Notary didn't even tell me they got him. Yeah. I had this one guy I bought land from. It's like north of LA, and he never gave me his address. He wouldn't give me the address. He was all cagey about it. But he told me the area, and so the notary is going to meet him over there. And I bought, I don't know, 20 or 30 properties off of him, and had a problem with a legal description on one of them. I had to get it fixed and corrected and stuff. So I called the notary back to see if we could go get the guy again, because he wasn't like responding, you know. And he said, "Yeah, I know where he lives. It's right next to where I play tennis. So I'm over there every other day to play tennis. I'll just stop by his house until he's there." Like, sweet. So it worked with that guy. So I started doing it with other notaries.
That's
Awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great.
How much are you paying these guys? I mean, I was like $50 a time. Is that what you're kind of spending?
Yeah, $50.
Okay.
That guy made it sound logical because I'm like a repeat client, and it's right next to where he plays tennis. So it wasn't just a trip over there to collect the notary. He was knocking on the guy's door on his way home from tennis.
That's cool.
The guy is like a doctor. And so I did a couple signings with him with different notaries. Like one was in Oklahoma City, one was like downtown LA, and this one was like at his house north of LA somewhere. He travels to different hospitals doing whatever he does. So he's like never around. He's really hard to get a hold of, hard to track down. But I bought a bunch of land off of him, and I got to get this stuff corrected because I screwed it up. I didn't, I got we turned it into the county, and then the assessor got back to me and says this legal description is not proficient or not enough or whatever. You got to get it fixed. So we go back to him with what the assessor thinks it should be. Get it fixed. Yeah, just chase the guy down. So I've done it with other ones since then, just plain ones, one property types, and just stick the notary on them and just get ready to pay the notary either way,
Mm-hmm.
Give them a good comment, whether they find the person or not. Thanks for trying. So, yeah, that works.
That's funny. I love it.
It's usually notaries that I've used before. I think it works even better. Maybe not a brand new notary. I've done brand new notaries too, but.
Has it ever failed where they can't get hold of them, they can't find them?
No, I got there's a signing right now in Louisiana that's been taking forever. Nobody answers their phone. Like the notary's name is Princess. I just remember it's just a funny name.
Oh, no.
Of course it is.
That should give you a little indication.
It's been taking seems like a month, and she keeps trying to track them down and go after them. They're gonna. Never actually gets a signature. They keep rebooking and moving around. And yeah, I've just been talking through the notary on it. The people mail back the accepted buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it, dude.
That's so funny, because it seems like I would think most people would be so excited knowing there's a check with their name on it. All you got to do is answer the door and sign here,
Right?
Don't you want the money? Here it is.
These people
Luke, can you stay on the call with us?
Yeah. They live in the middle of the swamp somewhere, and there's, this notary charged me $100 because it's so far out. And she's just working on them. She says they speak the language that they speak down there, or the accent or Creole or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This notary speaks it perfect. You talk to him.
That's kind of cool, actually. That's neat.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead. You want to do other questions?
Yeah, I'll just continue on. Thank you, Tony. Tony just wanted to say thanks for everything. Thanks for the program, the podcast, the weekly call, Parcel Fact, and the many other things you have set up for us. The knowledge you provide has been great. I look forward to many years with land investors.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. That's so cool. Hey, Luke Smith asks, here we go. What's with the shape? Oh, okay. Square, rectangles, neighborhood lots. Where are you going with this, Luke?
Yeah, I was just trying to go back to the previous one. You were saying what size sells the best. I was trying to ask what shape sells the best. Because sometimes you got a road on one side of the property, And I mean, ideally, you want the properties to like get out to that road, but then you get like long, skinny ones that don't make a whole lot of sense.
Those are not good. I call them slivers. You want to avoid that.
Yeah, or you start doing like some flagpole properties.
Yeah.
I don't think those usually make as much sense either. I'm kind of wondering like between different flagpole shaped property or putting easement in where there's no road, you know, make believe road for the future,
right?
To get to the other properties, or versus flagpoles, you know, like squares versus rectangles. It seems like the more square, the more logical the size of property versus rectangles.
That's what I think.
But I think it also depends on like the width of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you guys have dealt a lot of land. I thought maybe you'd have.
No, I don't have any more insight than that. Whatever shape is more usable for the terrain, I think, is what it comes down to. Square, rectangle.
You know, I'm drawn to rectangles. Like if there's a road frontage, because I want some frontage, but then I want a deep property. But that's my personal preference. So.
Do you think it's better to go across hill or up and down hills, or?
I think diversity is, unless you're farming it, better. But that's just, I think it's personal preference.
Yeah.
Good question. It'd be interesting to see if there is a trend, like if there's not that I'm going to, you know.
I love properties that have a road going smack right through the middle, so you get road frontage on each side, and you got really two pieces of property, not one. But that's personal preference.
Yeah. Do you like it with easements on both sides, or does that start getting ridiculous?
Yeah. I mean, 2 easements would be great. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really good. Savannah, I'm assuming Michelle here, do you check for unpaid HOA fees in addition to back taxes before purchasing? And the answer is heck yes.
100% of the time we do.
Because you don't want to be surprised because the stupid HOA fees, granted you could, you know, often negotiate that stuff, but the wrong HOA will say, nope, sorry, you owe me $1,200. I'm like, great, that's what I pay for the property. So you definitely want to check that.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, I ran into some with like fire department taxes. I didn't know I was supposed to check for those.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have too.
Or improvement district taxes.
Right, exactly.
Street improvement taxes, and other ones I didn't buy because I found them were fees because the grass hasn't been cut.
Yep.
Like you get over to Tennessee, Kentucky, and there's a lot of those. And
I got a ticket in the mail from a police officer, like mailed to me a few years ago. Like you get a parking ticket mailed to you, and it said you have a ticket for not managing the weeds on your urban lot in Oklahoma. And I laughed about it.
That's funny.
I know, right? Yeah,
That's hilarious.
With the court date on it and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, this is an interesting question. I don't know if they have this, Jack. Rodney asked us, did you see the question? Does Parcel Fact have a layer for the FEMA floodplain overlay?
Right. And no, Parcel Fact has no layers. This is 1.0. But here's what it does have, because those kinds of questions and features interest me also, but I didn't want to hold up releasing the site. So if you can see, Jill, right below the APN number on the screen, there's the GPS coordinates. Mm-hmm. They're also down here. These are all the corner point coordinates. So this site is designed for exactly what people are having problems with, which is finding property without an address, right? We've all been through it. We all spent hours trying to find the property. This takes that problem away. What you can then do is take the GPS coordinates and pop it into whatever place you do check for FEMA floodplain stuff. I think Google Earth Pro has a FEMA overlay. Yeah. You know, you want to check for Superfund site if you're buying industrial property and all that stuff. So it's designed to find the property and then to look at, like, you can see what this person bought. This is 120 acres. Jill and I are going to put a solar farm on, which we're running out of time. We're going to talk about next week. Talk about a lot about solar farms and how much money they make. But you can see right here that it's a perfect sales comparison. $7,800 they bought this property from. The existing owners did.
Awesome. Okay, so Luke is in Encinitas. Okay, yeah, we got to get some. I want to get some eggs, please.
Organic eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Kyler asks, Jack, can you please explain how you run the numbers when deciding how small to subdivide?
Yeah. Here's a real simple spreadsheet, and Jill, in 15 seconds or less.
Ready, go.
Time me.
Okay.
You buy a 40-acre property for $4,000. You put the roads in for $2,000. You're into the thing for $6,000, and you create 30 properties. Why not 40? You create 30 one-acre properties because you need room for the roads. You sell them for $2,500 each. Now you made $75,000 off of a $6,000 investment. How much time was that, Joe?
That was good. That was about 14 and a half seconds.
Yes. Next question.
Nice.
Subdividing is the greatest thing on the planet.
It is. All right, we have 10 minutes and we have...
What if you do it Luke Smith style? Instead of getting 30 properties, you bring it down to a quarter acre. All right.
Yeah.
That's 120 properties. Bring the sale price down to 1,000. Now you made 120 acres. 120. I can't stop myself. Sorry. $120,000 on a $6,000 investment.
I found
magical.
Go down to 8,000 square feet. Little tiny ones.
Wow. Cool. All right. This is a Luke comment. Got a deposit on the land from a guy, but it says in the wife's name in the checkout. He says, she says he kicked her out. He wants it. And she wants it, but they don't talk. Oh my gosh. I talked to him to buy, not her in the beginning, but the name is all her. Now what? Small money property. It's like I'm the judge of the marriage feud.
Just walk out.
Gosh, yeah.
Just leave it alone.
No, right? It's like a daily finish, Joe. It's like, I don't know what to do. They both want to buy the property, and they gave me a deposit, and he just called again while we have this, while we're on this talk, and she's like texting me and everything. They both want the property. But the deposit they gave is in her name.
Oh, gosh.
He wants it, and I was only talking to him, out of the beginning. And it's like, so why'd you do the deposit in your wife's name? I don't know. It's just a mess. I got to figure it out. Just send it back and start over.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Here, I'll give you guys the property in both your names. You figure it out.
Exactly.
I don't know. Total mess.
Okay, Jack, this is for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve, I think this is a new, or thinking about being with us, question. Can you give us clarification on the silver level, including program, the $10,000 for life as a member, the member plan listed at $1,850, right? And what are the typical charges to use for servicing of completed charges for completing a land purchase? It looks like $2. Okay, I see what you're saying. It sounds like, so this is I think, Steve, what you're asking is, how much is this all going to cost? I got to get the program. Now I got to get these tools. Okay, now another tool. I see Parcel Fact. Okay, do I need to budget for that? So you want to address that?
Yeah, so you get the cash flow from land education program. Jill will give you a fantastic coupon code if she already hasn't, to get some money off. More, it'll make it a lot less than $1,850. Then you pay $250 a month to access Title Pro 24/7, RealQuest, and just a ton of other tools. It costs 8 cents a record to pull, which is our cost from RealQuest. Or from mailer record, and then get you in the group to spend 49 cents per mailer, which is that if you send out 1,500 units, that's going to, over any other bulk mail printer, you're going to make up the money right there. So to answer your question, it's the price of the program and $250 a month on a silver level membership. You can use Parcel Fact or not. We've all been not using it because we've all figured out how to find our property other ways. And Parcel Fact's going to cost $100 a month.
You know what, Steve?
It's not $2.50 a parcel. It's
Right.
just $100 a month for unlimited pulls.
Because we're going to change that.
Yeah.
You know what, Steve? I would say if you want, I am happy to sit down with you and like we could talk about budget and all that good stuff. Go on the Land Academy site on the front page, landacademy.com, and just schedule a Calendly call with me. And we can sit and I can give you an idea. And Jack and I, just to give, if anybody here is thinking about this and they're not in our world, you and I did a great show on this one time, a podcast that, I mean, we're honest. I don't, if you come to us with $1,000 to your name, it's not going to work, you know, and I want everybody to be comfortable and be able to do this. So I would really say save up $5,000. I think that's what we came up with, Jack, is a good number.
Yeah.
To dive in. And then you could still afford that still affords a program and get you started in the data. You could afford to download data. You could afford to send out some mailers and buy something. So that's kind of where we're going. So I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that answered that. Not, I'm happy to answer more. All right. We have 5 or so minutes and 15 questions.
It's really, really, really cheap for what you get.
Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line. Yeah. What the value, what we are able to do here is awesome. That's why there's all these people and we're doing so well. Kathleen asks, I'm setting up the purchase of a parcel, which was purchased years ago by a single woman with the deed in her maiden name only. Now she's married. The county said that I need to list the husband as one of the grantors and get both of their signatures on the new deed. I know this came from the county, but does it sound right?
No.
Kind of rough for my little liberated brain, just saying.
No.
I like
it doesn't sound right to me, but counties are dingbats sometimes.
Exactly.
Might want to get a title person.
Exactly. All right. Rodney said, I'm going to kind of speed this up here so we can try to get through these. Rodney said, you just answered my question. Some of the counties have multiple parcel IDs.
Yes.
A long geo ID and a short reference ID.
And an owner ID.
Uh-huh.
That's what happens sometimes. Parcel Fact is all about the APN.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Is it with dashes or without dashes?
It will take it both ways depending on which county. We've spent a lot of time and money to make it intuitive. So, but don't, pound it around. If
okay.
It might take 5 tries, but you'll get it. And make sure if there's zeros in the front, put them in there. Zeros in the back, put them in there.
Cool. Good. Jerry's on board with the $100 unlimited because he said I could blow through a lot of those because he does them all day long. So
that's
you got it.
That you know what? We priced it what you saw on the screen there, and a bunch of people said, "Why can't we just have unlimited, please?" And I said, "I agree."
Cool. People treat Luke differently from the rest of humanity. Is that a theme, Luke?
I don't know.
Luke, when you were in high school, were you the guy who beat people up or got beat up, or were you the class president? Talk to us.
I had to go to counseling so I could get back.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I got thrown out of high school.
Oh, no. And look at you now. I love it. All right.
How about you, Jill? What were you like in high school?
Oh, I was a geek. I was such a geek. It's not even funny. I was in band.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was president of the National Honor Society. How funny. And I was president of the French Club. Talk about a geek.
Yeah.
So I was a late bloomer. Second half of high school or second half of my senior year, I figured it out. And boy, did I goof off from then on. And well, now included.
Well, I can vouch for the fact that you've bloomed now.
Thank you very much.
You've bloomed.
Oh, thanks. You're silly. Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen was in band too. Guys, I'm working on a deal. This is Jerry. In Arizona for 450 parcels. I'll let you know what happens. Luke's going to do the paperwork. LOL. Love it.
Are they like all different deeds on each one, or is it just one massive legal description list with one deed, or what? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out here. Rodney asked, do you guys sign the purchase offers in your mailers? I'm reluctant to imprint my signature on blanket mailers. Well, we've never had a problem with that. Or you simply send the offers from your LLC without a personal signature?
So we don't physically sign the offers, but we take, we embed a picture of our signature on every offer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not reluctant. Sometimes, depending on which year it was, we had the acquisition staff. Now it's my signature and everything.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Just got a confirmation. Michael was saying from Simple File while on the call. Oh, good.
Perfect. Good.
Recording stuff while we're doing this call. Awesome.
How much you guys pay in Simple File? Because I haggled with them. I got them down to $3 a filing. I was wondering if I could push them further or what.
We haven't used it yet. We're setting it up for this large deal we just did in Arizona. So this RV park.
And now we know I'm going to try to come under $3.
Well, I want to go in. Well, not what I'll do now. I'm writing this down. I'll go negotiate a group rate for us, all of us.
Oh, that's what we need. Done. Okay. Jason said, if Parcel Fact and Title Pro, if Parcel Fact and Title Pro can't show you the property, what can you do? Do you ever give up?
Yeah. I'll give you. Yeah.
Did I just go old school till you eventually get it?
I'm going to tell you, I got stumped recently in Taos County, New Mexico. I could not find the property. David, last letter V, just gave up on a real estate deal because no one can find the property, not even at the county. So it does happen.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of them like that in Taos. I've skipped some there that I couldn't find.
There's a county in Arkansas that burned down like in the 1890s or something before the 20th century, and they lost all their records and they don't know they don't know where the property is.
Have you ever, I've done this, I pulled a parcel map and I'm staring at a real map because I have the parcel map and there's some roads there and I'm literally trying to seriously judge and make it the right size and overlay it and try to make my own, figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
I can get pretty close, obviously. But
I've lost whole weekends trying to find one piece of property.
Yeah. And then there you go.
This was a personal vendetta against lack of finding property is why Parcel Fact happened.
Exactly. Oh, and Jerry said, great work on Parcel Fact. Excellent work. Thank you. All right. Kathleen says, okay, it's 4:00. Jack, can we blow through these 7?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
cool.
If not, Luke will stick around for a couple more hours.
Yeah, it's true. We just leave. Kathleen said, are folks having luck selling properties in gated communities? Oh, I have a killer deal from the developer himself and more to come, so he says, in a full-on gated community. I think this is fantastic, by the way.
Too. I bet I know where this is.
A country store. That sounds familiar to me, too. Boat ramps, tenants and golf, all available to owners. Great access, almost 9 acres. Paved road access, perked, city water, electric, but of course, some restrictions of the buildings and probably heavy HOA fees, but that's all right.
Do the deal.
Yeah. Luke,
and sell it fast.
You've done some of these, right, Luke?
Yeah, I really get an idea what the HOA fees are ahead of time. And budget it in there and stuff for your sales price. It's like buying a liability, just more than just the taxes, those fees that are on there. So you got to make sure it's worth it. But it's so much easier to sell all those perks to the right person. It's not the RV guy that buys it. It's someone who's going to actually go build there. So those communities don't usually want the RV guy that I'm used to selling my land to. It's a more substantial buyer.
Yep. Like money's not an issue. They want to use the property.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you two. Jessica wants to know about what size property, are you starting with to subdivide? So
I'm subdividing some property in the state, and the property happens to be in 2 counties that are adjacent to each other. And those 2 counties have entirely and completely different rules and requirements for the same piece of property. So to answer your question, economically, it almost always works, and financially, but the regs and all that stuff are completely and entirely different county to county.
You didn't say the size.
What size, Jack?
What size property do you need to subdivide? You can do it without. You can take a 1/4 acre property and subdivide it into an 1/8 of an acre.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the county rules are going to dictate, and there's different zoning, different rules, different parts of the county.
Yeah.
Like if you go down to the city level, municipality level, it's not even county anymore. It's like talking to the local city people to get permission to break it up into whatever size you want or they allow. So I'd say stay out of that to start and go to the unincorporated areas.
Unincorporated, yeah. That's great advice. Stay out of this. And then unincorporated property.
Same thing like Jack said when it comes to flipping land, pick the easiest county, the easiest data, and easy everything, right?
Yep.
Right.
The same idea when it comes to splitting land. Find one that's really easy with the least paperwork, the least requirements, the most open. You can take small ones and make them smaller. You don't have to take monsters and turn them into, big size properties or something. Because a lot more places let you do that. Take a lot bigger properties and make them 40 acres or something without even getting into the rules. But as you start making smaller ones, you get into more rules, from my experience. More requirements.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, there's a point where you need entitlements to do it, like a subdivision where they have built houses. You don't want to mess with that at all.
Exactly.
Well, if the numbers are right, I mean, I've been looking at doing some of that in some areas. Been talking to the land surveyors in the area that do it, and they're giving me quotes, for different pieces of land, and then I'm saying, well, what kind of land would work better? I could go get that. And they do all the paperwork. They do all the mapping, surveying stuff. Like the surveyor basically does a lot of that stuff for you. You just pay them and wait. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is get some better numbers. How much time, and then do the math from there to figure how much I can pay for the property to make it work.
The issue you have with entitlements is that most of the time they require you to install infrastructure or disclose when you're going to install infrastructure, meaning roads and sewers and all kinds of stuff. That's when I stop the deal, and I just move on to the next one. That's not the business I want to be in.
No, when you're making too many properties or too small properties in an area, and you're going to clog up the roads or something, they start worrying about that.
Right.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. Because we all live in California and we know what clogged roads are like.
Exactly. Love it. Okay. Let's see. Luke's looking for tent sites to subdivide. Nice. I love it. Andrew says, do you have any recommendations or things that you've done in the past to help build your buyers list faster? We do. My ultimate goal is to have the buyer once I have the deal, and eventually not have to market it online in order to sell.
That's what we do.
In wholesaling homes, you talk about having the buyer before sending the mailers. Does that concept correlate to land?
Yes.
For example, if I'm looking for developers for subdivision lots, would it be beneficial to reach out to developers on Bigger Pockets or post an ad on Craigslist?
I would like to hear Luke's answer to this, but I'll tell you, have a conversation with a guy like Steve Seal, who owns landcentral.com, if you can get him on the phone, or Rudy, who owns landcentury.com, or even Luke. Ask Luke ask Luke what he would buy from you. Maybe he's your A buyer. He's your A-list buyer. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, you'll figure out land split deal and the numbers and stuff. I mean, I'm there. I mean, let me know. I might buy that thing in lots of different ways, or structure it and pull it off so you make a bunch of money. I mean, I'd love to do those kinds of deals. I'm trying to figure them out too, so that there's a big learning curve. We work back and forth. I think this group together could make a lot more properties, and that 5, 10, 20 years from now we'll be buying off of mailers anyway. I don't know
right.
That, but a lot of them probably turn into real developed properties, and other ones don't. I mean, look at Mojave County, for example. That was the one that Jack uses in a lot of the examples. Look at how many properties there are compared to other counties. I mean, it's probably because Mojave was easy to split somewhere in the past.
Exactly.
Look at 5-acre properties. There's 10,000 of them or something ridiculous. Right. Whereas you look at other counties around it, and it's 500 or 1,000 of them. There's just so many more, and of certain sizes. Different counties have different sizes that are popular. And
Cool.
I think it makes Mojave a lot more usable by a lot more people. I mean, it's adding value to that county. And, a lot of those properties got developed. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. And there's still a lot of them that haven't been, that we can still trade until they get developed. But I think creating more of them, Jack was just doing the math at ridiculously lower prices than buying them off of mailers. Could be a really fun thing to flood the market with.
Well said.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Michael said he now he gets it. The $100 for unlimited. Awesome, he's in. So Jerry said I had to go to counseling. Almost got booted. So thank you. Is that talking to me? Things changed in college. Got it.
I had in so much trouble in high school. I can't even talk about it.
Cool. Jerry said it's going to be fun, Luke. All right. Jared said or asked, being from Florida and primarily doing business in Western states, in your opinion, would it build buyer/seller credibility to establish a Western mailing address and phone number?
Yes.
Somewhere like Phoenix, etc., or does it not matter?
It matters.
Cool.
I think it matters. And that will be part of Joe Live, where you will get, we think, I'm not sure, Joe, you can veto this if you want, where you can get a local address. If it's not part of Joe Live, it'll be part of something else. I'm working on this concept called Company in a Box. Then you get all that stuff. You get a local address and people, all of it. Joe, I don't want to step in your toes on Joe Live. I told you I wouldn't do that.
No, that's okay. So cool. We're still working out those details, basically. So, but good advice. All right, do the deal. Jerry was saying, Kathleen, it's HOA $450 with the raw land, 1,101 built per year. Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Perfect advice. All right, I think we got through them all. We are good to go.
Here's
Yay.
the ROI in subdivision. I can't stop myself.
I know.
I love subdividing property.
It's just
good.
So much easier to buy bigger acreage properties. Like you mail them offers, and the people that get back to you are just always much more logical. I shouldn't say always, but for the majority of them, they're much more logical about doing deals and lower dollar per acre deals because they're getting big money,
Cash money, right?
Yeah,
right. There's nothing bad about it for anybody.
Yeah.
Including the county. They increase their tax base substantially.
Oh, yeah.
So on a 40 acre deal generating 30 properties, you generate an 80% ROI, and that's not even pushing the price. So that's the way to, it's truly amazing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun making them too. I mean, just
right.
You can go offer more. You could offer more for the properties that you want to split up and get a higher hit ratio of
Quite frankly, that's what we do. I pick and choose now which ones are going to be best, so I can go through the least amount of work and turn them the fastest, and we pay more.
You get goofy shaped ones or something, you can just sell them the way they are. You don't have to split them. And some of the counties, I mean, you can sell different shapes until something sells and then split it. And I think that's even more fun. You try to sell a bunch of different sizes, see what sells, and then split it.
Exactly. Is that it, Joe?
It is. We got through.
Thank you.
I'm working on it, Jerry.
Thanks, everybody. We had a great call. Well, thanks again, Luke. This is becoming a regular thing.
Thanks, guys. Have fun. I keep learning from you guys, too.
Next week, same time, we're going to talk about the fortune to be made in solar panels.
Ooh. Awesome.
Have a good acquisition week, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.